In 1994, a 26-year-old man made a decision that sounded completely insane. He was working at a prestigious financial firm in New York City, surrounded by brilliant people, earning a high salary and building a secure future. And then he told his boss he was quitting. Not to join another company, not to get a promotion, but to start a bookstore in his garage on something called the Internet. At that time, most people didn't even understand what the Internet was. When he explained that one day his company would be worth over $100 billion and that he would become the richest man in the world, people laughed. The idea sounded impossible. That young man was Jeff Bezos. Before starting Amazon, Bezos had everything most people work their entire lives for: stability, prestige, and comfort. When he told his boss about his plan, his boss didn't immediately dismiss him. Instead, he took him on a long walk through Central Park and listened carefully. After thinking for a moment, his boss said something powerful. "That sounds like a really good idea, but it would be an even better idea for someone who doesn't already have a good job." Then he added, "You can have a job, you can have a career, or you can have a calling. And if you figure out how to have a calling, you've hit the jackpot." That sentence stayed with Bezos. He knew leaving his job was risky. He knew there was a high chance he could fail. But he asked himself one simple question: when I'm 80 years old, will I regret trying and failing, or will I regret never trying at all? The answer was clear. Failure is temporary. Regret lasts forever. So he chose the less safe path. He left his comfortable Wall Street job and started building an online bookstore from his garage. When he began pitching investors, he confidently told them he was going to build a company worth over $100 billion. At the time, that number sounded absurd. Even entire countries weren't valued that high. Many investors laughed. Some mocked the idea. Others simply didn't believe the Internet would ever become that important. But there was one difference between Bezos and the people laughing at him. They were skeptical. He was certain. He believed he was at the right place at the right time with the right opportunity. And that belief became Amazon. As a child, Bezos had always been a builder. He spent time in his garage inventing things: automatic gates, homemade alarms to trap his siblings, even a solar cooker that barely worked. Most of his early inventions failed, but failure never discouraged him because he wasn't chasing trends. He wasn't trying to copy what was popular. He was following his curiosity. And curiosity, combined with persistence, becomes innovation. Over the years, Bezos developed a philosophy about success. You cannot be proud of your gifts. Maybe you're naturally good at math. Maybe you're intelligent. Maybe you're talented. Those are gifts. You didn't choose them, but you can be proud of your choices. You can choose to work hard. You can choose to practice when it's uncomfortable. You can choose to continue when others quit. Your choices define you, not your natural talent. He often asks a powerful question: will you choose a life of ease and comfort, or will you choose a life of service and adventure? When you are 80 years old, which choice will make you proud? Will you play it safe, or will you take bold risks? Will you quit when things get difficult, or will you be relentless? Today, Amazon is one of the most powerful companies in the world, but it didn't begin as a global empire. It began with a decision to leave comfort, a decision to risk failure, a decision to follow a calling instead of a career. The biggest success stories don't start with certainty, they start with courage. And sometimes all it takes to change the world is a garage, an internet connection, and the willingness to choose differently.